The Origin and Impact of Globalization by Brittany Kamich. Photo of Warsaw, Poland, Market Square. According to Michigan State University, Poland sits in the heart of Central Europe, surrounded by various other Slavic countries, with a 2022 population of 37,561,559. With predominantly Polish population, the Polish language accounts for 98% of the spoken language. Poland has had quite the history, and while at times it could be overshadowed by some of its bigger European counterparts, its origin and impact of globalization is one that should be told. The office the office of the historian no date noted that long ago there was a king of Poland. However, they were prevented from passing legislation. Poland was partitioned 3 times by Austria, Russia, and Prussia, leaving little left to Poland before it was finally proclaimed the Polish Republic on November 3rd, 1918. After much back and forth about the borders, the Versailles Treaty of 1919 helped to clarify some of the confusion. However, these disputes were later contributed to a war with Russia. For this reason, I've specified Poland as a colony instead of a colonizer, such as other countries like Russia. Although they do not meet the typical conditions of a colony, they were colonized by another. Um, excuse me, and they were not colonized by another. Ideas to colonize other colonies came, but they never manifested. And for that reason, I have dubbed it a colony. Republic of Poland 2020 reported that Poland joined NATO in 1999 and has had the benefits of increased prestige and higher security standards, in which they were able to play a key part in strengthening European defenses and alliances alliance operations. As NATO focuses mostly on military allegiances, Poland joined NATO first and was later integrated into the EU for economic growth. In addition, the European Parliament, no date, mentioned that in December 1991, the European agreement between Poland and the EU started and ended in 1994, during which Poland agreed to go through an economic and political reform. At first, it was seen as a very big challenge to Poland as they had to reform most of their infrastructure. However, once they integrated, they were able to surpass many of the expectations put on them. Michigan State University stated that Poland has a mixed economic system which includes a variety of private freedom combined with centralized economic planning and government regulation. Paragraph 1. Poland also has a unique advantage by being a part of both the EU and NATO. The EU helping set the pathway for economic stimulation, and NATO providing security defenses, giving even more defense and security to the peace and mind of the people in Poland. While not everyone agrees that Poland needs to be a part of NATO, I felt that it was critical to transforming Poland into a well-developed country. And without NATO, Poland most likely would not be the same today. To add to this, Polish economist Maciej Bożławski has called Poland one of the biggest beneficiaries of globalization, mentioning how this aided in tripling both wages and GDP in 30 years' time. They also mentioned that they would like to catch up with Germany or South Korea and calling the development an industry extremely fast-paced. Butowski 2019. These advancements have develop and culture help develop these advancements have helped develop a culturally strong country that Poland remains today. Although it looks forward to even faster development. This is a great mindset to ingrain in the culture if they would like to compete with other globalized countries. In an article from the IKEA Museum, the company details how Ingvar Kamprad had to expand their search for business outside of Sweden due to demands and boycotts. They decided they no longer put due to demands and due to unmet demands and boycotts. Then they decided they could no longer put pressure on Denmark as they already had issues meeting the high volume supply. At the same time, Poland happened to be looking for business in Sweden, and the two began integration almost seamlessly with no hiccups. Minus one day when IKEA did not have access to the Polish factories upon visiting the locations, but it was soon fixed, and IKEA has been operating in Poland since. IKEA Museum 2025. To a lot of companies, the process of globalization can seem scary, but to venture out of their, let me back up. To a lot of countries, the process of globalization can seem scary to venture out of their origin country. However, in a situation such as this one, we can see how important globalization can be to businesses, especially when we take into consideration the ease of supply and demand. IKEA was lucky enough to combine with Poland at just the right time, benefiting both the company and the business. And when we consider the perfect idea of globalization in this scenario, this arguably strikes close to home as both parties got exactly what they were looking for out of the deal, and they're still benefiting from it to this day. Two international institutions that Poland participates in is the EU and NATO. The EU stands for European Union and NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It is an interesting fact that NATO 2024 noted that Poland takes place among one of the 23 countries that participate in both EU and NATO, noting that they often collaborate on various issues and share common interests of development and defense. Funny enough, this collaboration all began in Poland. The European Union 2021 reported that the two began collaborations in Warsaw in July 2016 and later made a joint declaration to come together on a multitude of issues. This spans from cybersecurity, military risk, and social development. For Poland, being a part of the EU and NATO has been a crucial has been crucial to security and development. By setting up Poland with specific strategic goals, the country has become a powerhouse with a new drive to keep on developing and surpassing these expectations. Michigan State University 2024 stated that the EU has developed a single market through a standardized system of laws that apply in all of its member states. These policies aim to secure the free movement of people, goods, and services as well as capital between the member countries. Paragraph 1. The setup works by allowing for businesses to negotiate across the borders within the bloc as long as they uphold the EU policies. European Commission no date mentioned notable trade agreements that are front and center at the moment are Chile, India, Indonesia, Kenya, Mexico, Philippines, Singapore, and South Korea, along with various other agreements already in place, being adopted or on hold. According to Global Edge 2023, Poland's top 10 trade partners and exports are Poland's top 10 trade partners and exports are Germany, Czechia, France, United Kingdom, Italy, Netherlands, Russia, Sweden, United States, and Slovakia. And imports and in its imports, it is Germany, China, Russia, Italy, Netherlands, France, Czechia, United States, South Korea, and Spain. When looking at the when looking at the import-export goods, the top 10 export goods range from machinery, vehicle parts, and raw materials such as metals and plastics. Oil, meat, and rubber are also part of the top imports. And this is, um, excuse me, let me backtrack. The top imports are much of the same as the exports, with the addition of pharmaceuticals and NESOI items, as well as precision instruments. Trading Economics 2022 reported that the EUR-PLN exchange rate as 4.2141 and the USD PLN as 4.0147. And lastly, the British pound, the GBP PBLN exchange as 5.0099. What this means is it would be more expensive to import these British goods than from the United States or Europe. And this is okay as Poland does a majority of its trade with the EU. Looking at these global edge insights, Poland does deserve more credit. Poland maintains a high literacy rate. It is one of the lowest unemployment rates of the countries that I decided to display. And it also has a huge portion of the population that participates in the labor force. Poland has had a spotlight shed on them for their participation and activity in both the UN and NATO. They really are a key player and a rising global star when looking at European countries. It has been great to give Poland a bit more of the recognition that they deserve, and next time others are looking at Ireland, Ukraine, Russia, Germany, etc., do not forget that Poland is a resilient and undeniably essential country. And thank you for watching my presentation. This is my references. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.